Hi, it's Rae from Love Lola. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a really quick tutorial on how to make a wristlet. I really love making these for my clutches and even my wallets. In my opinion, it just takes my bag up a notch and it only takes a few minutes to make and not much in production cost. If this is something that you want to try, come hang out with me for the next 10-15 minutes and we can get it done. Alrighty, let's go over what we're going to need. The fabric that you're going to be using to make your wristlet. I'm going to be using a rivet. You don't have to. I just like a little bling bling. And I'm going to be using 1/2 inch swivel hook. Now, you can make your wristlet strap the size that you want it to be. I really like a thin strap. I just think it looks really classy and chic. So that's why I'm going to be making mine 1/2 inch. So I've cut it 2 inches wide. You can adjust that to the size that you want. Also, I think that any length between like 12 and 15 is appropriate for the wristlet. I made mine 14 inches today. So to get started, grab some clamps. And you're going, I did interface this. I used SF101 because I didn't want it to be too thick. I feel like this is the vibe that I'm going for. Now, once I make it, if I feel different, then I'll go and add some more. But I think this is going to be it. Okay, so we're going to do like a traditional strap. We're just going to fold it in towards that line that we made. And then we're going to fold it over. If you would like to do it one at a time, you can just fold it one line in, pin it, or you can use double-sided tape and then do the other side. But I just do this because it's faster. So I'm going to fold in. I'm going to fold in and then I'm going to bend it over. And then I'm going to clamp it. I'm going to skip over a couple of inches. Do the same thing. My clamps on the outside are about 2 inches from the end. Now I'm going to place these where they are right sides touching. Oops. Do you know how many times I have forgotten to put my swivel hook on? Yeah, a lot. Go ahead and grab your swivel hook and place it on. There we go. Let's try this again. Okay, now grab your pieces and place them, these are your end pieces, so that they are right sides touching. We're going to clamp and then head over to the machine and we're going to sew that at about 1/4 inch seam allowance. All right, I'm going to get rid of that thread that's hanging out. And I'm going to trim this down to about 1/8 inch. Okay. And now I'm going to open that piece up and continue what I was doing earlier. Bring each side to the middle. And then fold it in half. And if you pull gently, it's going to want to fold the way it should. So just give it a gentle little tug and that'll get it going in the right direction. Okay. Now we're going to head over to the machine. And if your swivel hook is facing down like that, it's okay. You can always like manipulate it to get it where you need it to be. So don't worry too much about that. Okay, so now we're gonna go and top stitch at 1/8 of an inch along both sides of this wristlet. I personally like to start by the seam allowance because I am going to back stitch a little bit. If you don't want to back stitch, then you can just leave your thread long and then get a needle when you're done and stick it so that it goes in between and comes out on this side, and then you can tie it in a knot. So if you don't want your seams to, your thread to show, do that. I'm not worried about it just because my black thread on this material blends in so well. It's not a big deal. And the way that I'm going to be riveting it, it's going to be fine. Okay, so let's go and get this top stitched. Again, I am starting about 1/2 of an inch up from where my seam allowance is. I'm on my industrial, so I am at about a 5 for my stitch length. If I was on a domestic, I'd probably be at around a 4. I should have done the other side first. So yeah, if you're doing this, go ahead and sew the side that has the open seams. Do that side first. It just makes more sense. Eventually you're gonna run into that swivel hook. Just move it out of the way. And I'm going to continue sewing until I get to my seam. And then I'm going to just pivot. And then sew along the other side. Again, just move that swivel hook out of the way. Move. Get out the way. Get out the way, hook. Get out the way. Okay, and once I approach that where my seam is, I'm going to back stitch a couple of times. All right. Okay, so now if you look closely, you can see where the seam is. What I like to do is position my swivel hook about 1/2 of an inch before the seam. So here's the seam and here is my swivel hook. And then I bend down. And from the back, you can see from the swivel hook, you've got about 1/2 of an inch or so until that seam is there. What I'm going to do is place my swivel hook, place my rivet right above that line. Because what I want to do is use my rivet as a tool to help flatten that area. You know, because sometimes the seams can get a little bulky. So I'm just going to eyeball it. All right, and go ahead and get your hole put in. I'm going to be using my hole puncher. This machine is from CamSnap. If you have a handheld one, that's fine. Whatever you use to get the job done. Like I said, this is CamSnap, but since I purchased this, I have heard that there are a bunch of more affordable versions. So definitely get out there and do some research. If you make a lot of bags, then something like this is something that you truly do want to invest in. All right. So we've got our hole, and now we are adding our rivets. There we go. All right, and I'm gonna set it really quick. As you can see, I was feeling kind of funky, and that's the fun thing about rivets. They're fairly inexpensive, so you can just have fun with it. You can use them, you know, as needed for structure, and you can use them as decorative items as well.
Alrighty, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful at all, make sure to give it a like. See you guys next time. Bye.